Welcome to the Page by Page Book Club. I'm your host, Paige Imprint, and I bring you weekly book club meetings wherever you get your podcasts. Today's going to be a Yap episode, which is something I've never done before, but I fear may become a regular thing because I can already tell by my notes I'm going to have a lot of fun. So I hope you have a lot of fun so that I can do this again. I figured we could just do a Yap sesh. It's not about anything in particular. Yes, of course, we'll be talking about books, but I figured I'd do a little life update. I'd just talk a little more generally about books. And that's my plan. If you love it, we'll do it again. If you hate it, I will never do it again. Okay. With that being said, it has been a rough week. Many of you know this. Some of you may not. But it's been handled. So here's what you missed on Glee. I'm going to take it back for you. This is lore that Instagram and TikTok have not gotten. So I hope you enjoy this. On Sunday of last week, I had spent 3+ hours on my journey back from Maine with Molly Goins. Shout out Molly Goins. Just strategizing on my social media. I was like, okay, I'm loving this. I've been doing this forever. What can I do to level up, get a little better, grow a little bit more, like all that good stuff. And that was Sunday. I spent 3 hours doing this. And then on Wednesday, here's the full story. On Wednesday, I had one more filming session to prep myself to be in a good place to leave for France. I leave for France on June 19th. And so I had one more filming session, and I filmed about 6 videos during that session during the day. And then that evening around 4:00 p.m. Central Standard Time, I go to upload the footage. It was great. And then I always clear my SD card after I film because I've run into situations where things haven't filmed because my SD card was full, etc. So I go in to wipe my SD card, and I was just kind of admittedly muscle memorying it. Like I was just going through the steps, and it took a little bit longer than usual. And I was like, that's weird. And it looked a lot fuller than I thought it was. So again, I was like, that's weird, but whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, let's just edit one of these divas while I have a second. Because if I have a moment, I'll usually try to edit some content. Well, I go in prepping to edit this content and click into my hard drive. The hard drive's wiped. It's gone. Gone, gone. And as it turns out, because I had my SD drive and my hard drive plugged in, my hard drive wiped. So I make a series of phone calls. I call my mommy because obviously, I call Torianne Harris. I call Molly Goins. I call my husband. My husband knows how big of a deal this is. He leaves work. He's like, okay, this is bad. This is bad. I begin researching, can I recover a hard drive? The gag and the issue is I hard reset this. Like this wasn't I deleted things. I hard reset my SD cards because if you just delete stuff, it doesn't always clear the hard drive. It still takes up space. Anyway, I did it. It was a permanent thing. So I tried one singular time to try to recover the information on the hard drive. Well, by the time everything got uploaded, it was you only have 108 items recoverable. None of them were showing as MP4s. They were showing as other, and that was really concerning to me. And I had thousands of videos on there. So I was like, this is not good. It probably did not recover much. And it wanted me to pay $100 to just recover my stuff. And it was not looking pretty. So I say this whole story to say, in my brain, and if you've seen my video, you can watch me cry on the internet over this. When it originally happened, I was very positive and I was just like, okay. And I still stand by that. You just have to do what you have to do. It happened, and me wallowing for days on end was just delaying the inevitable of me having to refilm the content. But part of me is just in my brain well, the universe is just saying, it was none of that content, diva. That just wasn't the content. If you spent 3 hours scheming, planning, masterminding, chatting with the universe about your content, and then your hard drive wipes that very week. Like, I cannot begin to express to you all how many times this could have happened. Like, I've cleared SD cards with my hard drive plugged in, which I know. Like, my point is, this could have happened so many times over the course of 2 years. 2 years. And so it's just funny that I spent so much time planning and scheming and prepping, and the universe was like, that was cute, but it was going to be none of that content. So try again. So in conclusion, today's Monday. This happened last Wednesday. I have filmed 58 videos since the incident. Hashtag the incident. Capital T, capital I. Which is crazy. Like, it just is. Like, I filmed so much content. I'm trying this new format, which has been very fun. I'm walking around my shelves, shopping my shelves. I have gotten a mixed bag of reviews. I would say 80% of people are really enjoying this new content format. I am receiving some DMs of people who are not enjoying this format. And to that I say, I have bad news for you because I just filmed 58 videos in this format. But also, I just get a giggle with the unsolicited commentary on my videoing format. I'm like, okay, well, I'm very sorry. Which reminds me, I have this written down, and this was making me giggle, and I saw another creator's video on this, and man, I wish I could remember what it was. But there's this phenomenon as a bookish content creator where you will create a video. For example, like last week, I created my favorite Cowboys video. And it is truly wild when people are like, they'll be like, a list of Cowboys without Kate Eaton? And I'm like, well, it is my Cowboy list. Or you forgot about so-and-so. Well, it's my favorite Cowboys list. You know, like, you can make your own list. And I don't know, it all gives its same thing, different font to me, where it's like, I am truly doing the best I can. And so it's just funny when I get feedback like that, where it's like, wow, it is my list, or it is my content, or whatever. I'm trying to be better about that. I'm such a people pleaser. We kind of chatted about my OCD 2 weeks ago, and this is like another place where that definitely comes into play, where I'm pretty confident and asserted and like, is that the right word? Asserted? I feel good about the content I create, and I feel good about my choices and all that. However, something just special about obsessive compulsive disorder and my particular flavor of it is just I really ruminate and have a hard time letting things go mentally. Like, I call it a hamster wheel. Like, I get on and I can't get off. And so occasionally, and there's no way of knowing what's going to cause it, one, like, a comment will just get me real good, and I'll be thinking about it for literally like weeks on end. So it's just, I don't know. That was just there's nothing right, nothing wrong. No one's doing anything wrong by any means. It's just interesting, like an unexpected plot twist of having OCD in the book space. But okay, looping full circle all the way back around to the hard drive stuff. I'm fine. Like, everything's going to be fine. I have 58 videos. The gag is now I need to edit all of these videos, but I can do that. It's all going to be good. And yeah, like, it's just, the show must go on. And I think the big lesson that I learned, or that I try to implement, and this is like a business thing for me, but it has kind of trickled into my personal life. It's like, when you have a decision in front of you, or when something happens to you, being able to recover quickly or make a quick decision and move forward is such a beautiful skill. And I think it's one of the greatest disciplines that I've taught myself. If something happens, get moving quickly, good or bad. Like, if a great opportunity comes to me, act fast. If my personal worst case scenario happens and I wipe my hard drive, take 4 hours to be upset, finish out the day, and then the next morning it's go time. It's 19 videos, 12 videos, back to back to back, plus vlogs in between and all the things. Like, it's just, not much will change if I just sit there being sad. In fact, I might make worse content if I ruminate on it too much. So yeah, that's what happened with the hard drive. Yeah, I'm okay. Everything's fine. We have new content. I hope you enjoy it. And if you don't, please don't DM me about it. Thank you. I love you. I appreciate that. Next, I have 2 things to talk about. Man, I'm like, where do I start? So this is just a side quest that I wanted to talk about, and I hope you have as much fun as I do. So one of my hobbies is reading. Another one of my hobbies is music, specifically studying pop music and pop stars. I think it's fascinating. I love consuming music criticism. I think it makes me a better reader and a better author services provider because it's learning to critique in a field outside of like your specific. Because I think if I got like really good at critiquing literature, I would not enjoy reading as much. But if I can get good at critiquing music, then it still makes me better in like reading and alpha and beta and whatever it may be, providing feedback, having intellectual conversations about books without taking the fun out of the book part. But what's so interesting is my sister is hoping to work in the music industry. She just graduated. I spent a lot of my life in the music industry, and then now in the book publishing industry. The amount that book publishing and music publishing have in common is absurd. New release Tuesday, new music Friday, same thing. New York Times bestseller, Billboard Top 100. Like it's, or even USA Today, Billboard Top 100, but like those type of things. And then down to like the cost per stream versus the cost per page read. Like it's so interesting how nearly identical they are. And so I studied them a lot. But what I had on my list to talk about is, and I could do like a whole Patreon episode on this, I could do a whole podcast episode on this, the amount of things you can learn, either as an author or as someone who like supports authors or just reads authors, by studying pop stars and their trajectory is so fascinating. Like, for example, you could use a Sabrina Carpenter, who, so fascinating, like, Short and Sweet was her, like, I'm probably speaking slightly, I don't know for a fact, but it was her 4th or 5th album, I believe. Potentially more, but it felt like she was an overnight success. And like, how many times do we hear that about authors? Or a Chappell Roan, for example, who grew up doing this, actually like went to Grammy U, which is like a camp for musicians. So she's like been super talented, songwriting, etc. for her whole life, at least like through school. Got signed to a label, aka publisher, and they ended up dropping her because her sales weren't performing and what have you. And then she released her latest album, The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess, independently. Ever heard of that? Sound like anything we've seen? And it popped off like crazy. And now she's represented and with a publisher. And I think it's slightly different because I think a lot of music artists, the like capital T end goal is to be with a publisher, but not so much with authors. It's easier to have success independently with Kindle Unlimited, the same way streaming has changed the game for musicians. Like, you see my point? You see what I'm saying? Are we having a good time? I just think it's so fascinating. So, I don't know. I just thought I would like share with you all, if you're doing author services or even if you're just a reader, but you're getting stuck in it or want to be better or what have you, like finding a creative art that's not writing or like writing fiction, like whether it's poetry or music or I don't know, studying paintings and like physical art. Like there's so many ways to flex that muscle or offset that muscle and get better and more curious and I don't know, even expand your realm of interest outside of the book space. And so I just think it's fascinating. I study it a lot. I have like, there's so much more where that came from. Like, you don't understand. I have so much more I could say, but I won't subject you to that because I don't even know if there's interest in it. But that's just something that I think is wild. Okay, the next thing on my list, the Hot Girls Read trademark. I'm not going to get too much into it. I'm not a drama person. I actually, like, one of my core values is I'm working on is just like kind of stay out of the drama. But my commentary on this is just because you can doesn't mean you should. And this is a lesson I've been learning in general, right? So I'm gonna put this back on me and then we'll come full circle. So as you all know, if you're podcast loyalists, book club regulars, my business has changed quite a bit recently. I have hired on team members and I am now personally working with 3 clients full time, and then the rest of my team works with a lot of clients themselves. And so I have found myself with more time than usual on my hands. And I am a chronic side hustler. I am just always looking for ways, one, to fill my time. I love working. I love the process of problem solving. And it's like a slight wiring issue for me. I love the process of solving the problem, but the solution doesn't hit me with dopamine quite like the process of solving the problem. This is all going to come back to this, I promise. So I like filling my time with that kind of thing. However, just because I have more time on my hands does not mean I need to fill it, because it's not good for me. Just because I can doesn't mean I should. And I think we're just living in a world where there's a lot at our fingertips. You can do just about anything. In fact, a lot of us were of the generation growing up where it's like, you can be anything, you can do anything. Just because you can does not, diva, mean that you should. And so my stance on the situation is, was it something she could do? Well, yes, in fact, she did. Should she have done it? No. And I think this is a lesson for all of us. Just because you can doesn't mean that you should. I am mystified and clapping and cheering to see the book community finally united over such a wild adventure. I love this for us. I think we needed a moment of solidarity between all of us together. And this was that. It's hard to believe. I saw that like Blind Date with a Book was in the process of being trademarked and all these things. Divas, just because you can doesn't mean you should. So, yeah. Speaking of filling my time though, you may have noticed, especially if you follow me on Goodreads, which I haven't even done a good job of keeping up with at all anyway. However, your girl's not been reading very much. This has been a problem for about 3 months now. I keep telling you all this is a problem. The gag has become, I just need to read during the workday, and I think I've told you all that before, but the time has come. I'm going to France next week. I'm hoping to read like unbelievable amounts of books while I'm in France. We're going for a book a day, maybe a book every other day. That's going to be my hope and dream and goal. However, if it doesn't happen, that's fine. But upon my return, I have built in at a minimum an hour or 2 hours in the morning to read. If you were around, you know, I had planned on reading, like stopping desk work at 3 and reading from 3 to 5. The problem is too much stuff comes up throughout the day that I ultimately end up trying to handle that I can't step away from. And so by 3 o'clock, I'm like, well, I have so many other things I need to do. So I think I just need to start the day with reading and go from there. Also, I am not utilizing my audiobooks to their fullest potential. I am spending my time in other ways. And so I'm going to try, like, if I'm doing the laundry or whatever it may be, instead of watching a YouTube video, which I love, I'm not going to take away my joy, but maybe tap into an audio. That's the plan. That's the journey. That's what you missed on Glee. Just checking our time. But yeah, so that's kind of the plan there. Some books that are really on my radar that I am really looking forward to reading. I just made a video about this that I am pulling up to share with you. I am dying to read Teenage Dream by Logan Riley. Very excited about that. It is Summer Friends Lover, Small Town. I think there's a spicy list of some sort. I think it's set at a summer camp. I might be making that up. It's summer vibes. I want summer vibes. I did a summer reading recommendation video the other day and I was like, man, I really don't read a lot of like summer romance. So this is my summer to do it. I'm also a summer girl. Like summer's my favorite time of year. I'm a spring color season, but I am a summer girl. I love the summer. Cannot wait for Tropesick by Lauren Oakey. When that audio comes and lands on my desk, it's over for everyone. I have been informed in such a major way that that is going to be my Roman Empire. I can't wait. I'm also, finally, you can stop asking me. I will read Please Don't Go. I will do it. The problem has been To be honest with you, I just have not been in the mental space to handle that. I know that it's got a little bit of angst to it. I just have not been ready to receive it well, but I think we're almost there. So that's my plan there. Double Barrel by Michelle Naomi Mosley. Very excited about this. This is book 2 after Rare Blend. I loved Rare Blend. And this is romantic suspense. We know how I feel about romantic suspense. It's wins all around for the team. I'm very excited about that. Mistakes Were Made by Lucy Score. I've only read The Christmas Fix by Lucy Score. Fun fact, I know that's kind of sacrilegious, but it's true. I'm very excited about this one because I believe she's a publicist. Many such cases. Much like myself. Very excited about that. And apparently has really great mental health rep. She has ADHD. I have OCD, but I am excited to read a publicist who's a little bit, like a little spicy up in the brain. I can relate. In a Second by Kate Canterbury. I know, y'all know, In a Jam Is Everything to me. And I've read In a Rush and I loved In a Rush. Why have I not read it In a Second? I don't know. Other than it's a little long, but I don't know why I haven't read it. Mainly just the length and I haven't been reading, but yeah, I must read it. I know. I am going to be diving into my Carly Fortune journey. Per my last email with the summer stuff, really looking forward to doing a little summer stuff. I have Every Summer After on here. Torianne would really like me to read the other one, the orange one. Don't remember the name, but I will read it. So that's exciting. Ace of Betrayal by Jessica Jude. Can't wait. Old Money, apparently Gossip Girl vibes. Very excited about that. It's a second chance. I don't know. I'm really excited about that. I think I'm going to read it in France for some reason. Old Money, France. It just makes sense to me. I have not read Beach Read by Emily Henry. Now's my time. I've only read Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry, and I am looking forward to expanding my Emily Henry palette this summer. It's going to be great. Hard Count by Ginger Walls. As you all know, I'm loving the Newhouse University series by Ginger, and this is the next on the list. She's recovering that series, and I cannot wait to see the new covers and get my hands on them. Can't wait. The last 2 on my current list, but there's so much more. Small Town Smoke Show by Holly Renee. Book 2, after Cowboy Casual, it is Sisters Acts. T. I loved their setup in Cowboy Casual. It is cowboy. And I'm excited about that. I think it's going to be fun, funky, fresh. Something a little different. And then finally, and I think this might drop some jaws, I have not read In Her Own League yet. Liz Tomforty. Again, no good reason why. I have the audiobook. It is mine for the taking. I just need to lock in and read it. Can't wait. It's going to be fun, funky, fresh. That's my plan for reading. That's kind of imminent TBR type beat. I'm looking forward to it. So this episode was a little randomista. I just thought we'd chat, catch up. I have places to be, people to see. So I'm going to hop off here. Next week's episode is going to be very exciting. Going to be welcoming back Corinne Michaels to book club to talk all things West of Forever in person. Can't wait for that. And then I'll see what I have for you the next few weeks while I'm in France. I'll come up with something. Fear not. Okay, that's enough for me. Thank you all so much for spending your time with me, and I'll see you all in the next one.